Oh, hey there, it's Laurie Lynnsee, and I'd love to say that this is today's love and light message from Spirit, but I'm in a hotel in the Great Northland, and I didn't bring any of my tarot. And, I keep tarot in my car, but my car wouldn't start. I don't know if you've heard, but we have real ice in Minnesota, not just the idiots that came, to terrorize us. But we've had super cold weather. Yesterday morning, it was minus 18. The wind chill was in the minus 30s. And my car would not start. And, I have a fairly new car. It's a 21. And it's a good little car, right? But it's on its original battery. So I'm quite sure it's the battery. It would not start. Even with my husband jumping it, it wouldn't start. So I am without tarot. I am without a lot of my woo-woo. But you know what? Woo-woo resides in here. And so I thought I'd talk about a couple of things this morning. One thing is about some timeline jumps. We've all been experiencing collective timeline jumps. And the last two hotels we stayed at, I know I experienced a timeline jump since I last stayed there. So a few weeks ago, we were here, stayed at this hotel, and we had stayed at this hotel a lot when our oldest grandchild was just a baby. And I remember that pool area like it was yesterday. I remember wheeling her around in her little stroller, her little bassinet, or not bassinet, but stroller, and while everybody went swimming, I didn't go in the pool. And when we just went back a few weeks ago, there was this gigantic water slide, like huge, like you had to climb to the top of the ceiling and ride it down. And I said to my husband, that wasn't there the last time we were here. And he goes, oh yeah, it was. And I said, no, it wasn't. Now we show up today to another hotel that we stayed at many years ago. And I said, maybe they did some remodeling. And he goes, no, Laurie, this is exactly the way it was. So we show up at a hotel yesterday, and I had the same reaction. He said, we stayed here multiple times. And I said, did they change it? Did they redecorate? No. I said, well, the pool area, the kiddie area was kind of blocked off by a fence. You kind of had to walk. No, Laurie. And I'm someone who, I have Tom Hall, that's my dad. I have Tom's memory. It's like a photographic memory. I remember what people ate at meals. I mean, my memory is just crystal clear. And I have never been to these two hotels, even though I could look back on hotels.com and see precisely when we stayed at these hotels. So I'm having timeline jumps. And I'm experiencing them, but others around me are just moving through the timelines. So it's weird. It's weird. Why can't I be on a timeline where I don't have to buy a new battery for $400 for my car? Anyways, another thing that's going on with me is my dream state. And I just watched a video from someone I watch frequently. I can't tell you who they are. It's not like Aaron Brown, or it was somebody else, but I watch them frequently. But they were talking about a definite sign that you are psychic or have empathic abilities is your dream life is crystal clear. It's like you're living in your dreams. And then they said that you feel you are sensitive in your dreams. And I thought everybody had this, like the feeling scared, not the sensation that you're falling. I think everybody has that. But if you have a reaction somewhere in your body during a dream, that's another sign that you have clairs, right? And that your dreams are vivid and you have repeating patterns in your dreams. Maybe I should do a class on dreams. I know my next live class is going to be on journaling, automatic writing, using writing and journaling as a spiritual tool. So that's going to come up in February. That's definitely coming up. But maybe I need to do something on dreams. I want to learn about lucid dreaming, because it says if you had these, it had a little checklist. If you could do all these, your jump to lucid dreaming, it just takes practice. Well, I don't even know where to start. If you're a lucid dreamer, reach out to me because I want to talk to you. One of the characters in our book is experiencing lucid dreaming. Somebody who doesn't realize they're part of the woo-woo world. We're all part of the woo-woo world. But she is she is just awakening, this character is. And she has a lucid dream and she's a sheriff deputy, just like one of the main characters in our book. It's one of her co-workers or partners. I don't know if you call them partners in the sheriff's department. But she's experiencing lucid dreaming, and she's able to go back to when a crime has started, and she's seeing things in this dream and is behaving. And I want to be able to have her direct her dream so it can answer some of her questions in her investigation. But I feel like every time I sit down to write about it, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like, I don't know if this is how people lucid dream. So if you're a lucid dreamer, I'd love to talk to you. Anyways, talking about dreams. I've had the same type of dream now for several months. I have no idea how many months. And it's always around either teaching or learning. And for a lot of you who don't know who I am, I'm a spiritual teacher. I do online courses. I do live courses. But I was an educator for 30 years. So I taught for 20 some years, 25 years. And then I was an administrator. So I was a principal. And then I did student data and testing at the last part of my career. So education has been a huge part of my life. And I not only taught like kindergarten through 12th graders during that time, but I also taught people who were in college, and I taught mastery level courses. I did a lot of trainings for school districts. So I've always been an educator, right? All these dreams are about being an educator or learning or something. Neil, if you're watching, I had a great student teacher. He told me it was 26 years ago. He was in my classroom. I dreamt the other night that I was student teaching in his classroom. And I sat in meditation and tried to, come up with, why would I dream that he was the leader and I was the follower, or he was the guide and I was the student? And it came back in my meditation that I have seen him this way for a long time, that I see him as a co-equal. I respect what he's doing. I'm so gosh darn proud of him. I mean, he's gone way beyond what I did in the classroom. I'm so proud of him. And to have a dream, and I felt so honored and blessed that I got chosen to be in his classroom to do my student teaching. I did my student teaching in 92. So we're talking over 30 years ago, right? But I remember in the dream hearing I was going to be in his classroom, and then in my dream I was in his classroom, and it was just like the perfect environment for me. Weird. So a lot of dreams surrounded, and I think it's because my soul is in a period of learning and growth. And so my cognitive mind interprets that as a classroom. But it's my soul is evolving. It's becoming more open to new things. You don't just have one spiritual awakening in a lifetime. You have multiple, and things change and evolve. You remove shadows, you move forward. I'm looking out this window here, and it's just a beautiful snowy day. It's not snowing, but there's snow everywhere. And that's the way my dream world has gone lately. And then I wake up to the reality of this crazy stuff that's happening. Spirit's talking to me right now and saying that we're all going through that. Like, we're all in a period of growth in our souls. And that's why it's so prevalent that people are standing up for what they believe in and supporting their neighbors. And a lot of people are trusting the process, like all this protesting, that might be a flagged word, but all of this pushback is exactly what we need. There's people showing up to these rallies and are, used to be apolitical, and now it's the only thing you can think about. If you are one of those people that don't think that politics is separate from life, then you don't live in America. because everything we face has a political consequence or a political reality. And the sooner you learn that, the easier it is for the rest of us. Stop saying I don't want to talk about politics. Don't say that to me because I'm going to say, well, then I have nothing to talk to you about because everything I hold deeply in my soul has a political backing behind it. So I'm already at 10 minutes. No cards today, but love and light to all of you. I hope you're all having a blessed weekend.